Keith Coleman was having one of those days. The sun was shining bright, and the clock seemed to be ticking faster than usual. As a candidate for the Texas House of Representatives, his calendar was packed with meetings and appointments, leaving little room for anything else. He had spent the morning sprinting from one conference room to another, and now, as lunchtime approached, he realized he had one crucial task left to complete: a banking transaction that required his physical presence. With paperwork in hand, Keith dashed to his car. He could already feel the pressure mounting. He had a tight deadline, and every second counted. As he slid into the driver's seat, a sense of urgency washed over him. If he could just make it to the bank and back within his lunch hour, he could wrap up the transaction and return in time for his important afternoon meeting. However, as luck would have it, there was a line of cars outside the hotel, and one particular vehicle was blocking his way, waiting to pick up a guest. Frustration bubbled inside him. Keith glanced at the time. He was already running late. He couldn't just sit there and watch the minutes slip away. With a determined sigh, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He stepped out of the car, the midday sun glinting off the chrome handles, and approached the vehicle at the front of the line. "Excuse me," he called, trying to keep his tone polite despite his growing impatience. The driver turned to him, a puzzled expression on her face. "I'm really sorry, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. Are you waiting for someone?" The driver, a mother with a warm smile, nodded. "Yes, my son should be here any minute." Keith could sense her understanding, yet he knew he had to act fast. "I completely understand. I just have a quick banking transaction to make. Is there any chance you could let me sneak past?" After a moment's hesitation, the driver glanced back at the hotel entrance and then at Keith. "Of course, no problem at all." Relief flooded over him as she waved him forward. He hurried back to his car, jumped in, and maneuvered around the waiting vehicles. Once free from the hotel pickup chaos, he stepped on the gas, hoping to make up for lost time. Thoughts raced through his mind, his responsibilities, aspirations, and the meeting that loomed ahead. Arriving at the bank just in time, Keith quickly parked and rushed inside. The transaction didn't take long, and with everything finalized, he felt a wave of relief wash over him. He could finally check that task off his list. With just minutes to spare, Keith left the bank and headed back to the office, ready to tackle the rest of his day. As he exited the building, he noticed a woman sitting in her car with the window down, tears streaming down her face. Keith told himself this wasn't his concern. He needed to keep walking, but that didn't sit well with him. He had been raised to help others, and despite his hurried schedule, he felt compelled to check on her. "Are you okay?" he asked gently as he approached her vehicle. The woman looked up, her eyes glistening. "I just got turned down for a $500 loan," she said, her voice shaky. Keith's heart ached for her. Without thinking much, he offered, "Would you like to grab a cup of coffee and talk about it?" After a moment's hesitation, she nodded. They found a nearby cafe, and as they sat with steaming cups in front of them, she opened up. She explained that her bathroom floor had rotted out. She could see the ground beneath it, and it was where her toilet sat. The contractor had quoted her $500 to install a subfloor and cover it with new flooring. But because she was on a fixed income, the bank had said she didn't qualify for the loan. "I had no idea this was a policy," Keith replied, frowning. "That seems incredibly unfair." As they talked, Keith made a mental note to look into lending options for people in similar situations. "I can't promise you a solution right now," he said, "but I want you to know that I'll do my best to come up with something that helps you and others facing a similar struggle." With their conversation drawing to a close, Keith felt lighter. He might have arrived at the cafe in a rush, but now he left with a renewed sense of purpose as a candidate for the Texas House of Representatives, knowing he could make a difference. This is why he has a new financial initiative for people who are over 50 in his district. Today had not gone as planned, but sometimes the unexpected encounters were the most meaningful. Visit Coleman for Texas to stay in touch with the campaign. Go to Coleman for Texas and join the movement.